Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Let's begin lesson number 21. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about verb form number 6. So overall, this is form number 6, and when we talk about the derived forms, then it is form number 5, because the derived forms, they start from number 2. So this one is tafa'ala. As we can see over here, that this is basically addition of ta to form number 3. So as we know that form number 3 is fa'ala, and when we add ta to it, it becomes tafa'ala and it changes into form number 6. So 3 plus 3 becomes 6, as we can see here. So tafa'ala, yatafa'alu, tafa'ulan is the pattern, and the verb that we are going to discuss on this pattern is ta'awana, yata'awanu, ta'awunan, to cooperate. As we have the verse of the Quran, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ, and cooperate in righteousness and piety, but do not cooperate in sin and aggression. As we can see over here, ta'awanu is failul amr and wala ta'awanu is failun nahi. Now let's discuss about the characteristics of form number 6. Number 1, it is reflexive of form number 3. As we discussed previously, that when we add ta to form number 3, it becomes form number 6. Verbs of this form usually show a group action. So that is the characteristic or main characteristic of form number 6, that it consists of, the action consists of the group. When we discussed about form number 3, we discussed that it consists of like 2 persons are involved, or 2 parties are involved, or 2 groups are involved, or there is 1 person and the whole group, or there is a whole group and 1 person. But the characteristic or the main characteristic of form number 6 is it consists of group action. So that means many people perform one action all together. As we have like darasa, to study, but when we say tadarasa, that means to study in groups. And now if we look at the example from the Quran, we have naja, which is from number 3 on the pattern of fa'ala, to consult privately, and when we add ta to this, tanaja, to hold secret counsel, so it becomes from number 6. Now when there is a council, we know that in council there are like many people and they sit together and discuss about something. We have this example in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha najaytum. So this is basically na, as we know that this is the extended alif. However, in the Quran it is written with the standing fatha or the extended fatha. So it's in the Quran as it is, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha najaytum, and najaytum is fail plus fa'il, and maf'ul bihi is ar-rasula. Idha najaytum ar-rasula faqaddimu bayna yaday najwakum sadaqah. O you who believe, when you consult the messenger in private, give something in charity before your consultation. So here we have the believers, and then we have ar-rasul. So it's basically the group and the receiver is only one, right? And this is the characteristic of form number 3, that it consists of basically 2 persons or 2 groups or 1 person and the whole group. So here it is asked, or it is told to the believers that Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha najaytum, and then maful bihi is idha najaytum ar-rasula. So when you consult the messenger, so how many participants are there? We have the group, the believers, and then we have ar-rasul, which is the singular, which is 1 person. Then if we take it into form number 6, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha tanajaytum. Now it is tanajaytum, which is the past form of tanaja. Fala tatanajaw bil ithmi wal udwan. O you who have believed, when you converse privately, do not converse about sin and aggression. So again, when the conversation is there, it basically consists of, or converse is just to many people. whereas naja is to have or to consult someone privately. So naja is to consult privately, and tanaja is to hold a secret meeting or hold a meeting in the form of a group. So the main characteristic is group action. What is different from number 3 and number 6? Yes, please. Anyone there? The difference between from number 3 and 6.
Number 3 is a single person, right, Ustad?
Excellent. Yeah, single person against a single person or a single person against the whole group. So basically it consists of two. Yeah. Okay, number 6.
Number 6 is it's a group of person.
Exactly. It involves a group of persons. Excellent. Yeah. So that is the main difference between form number 3 and form number 6. All right. Number 2, reflexive signification. So it's not action, this is signification, indicating that the action turns back upon the subject. Baraka, as we have seen in form number 3, is he blessed, as we say, Barakallahu fikum. And tabaraka, it is only restricted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, made himself blessed above all. So whenever we use this form tabaraka, it is used for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have many examples in the Quran. For example, we have Surah Al-Mulk, Tabaraka alladhi biyadihi al-mulk. Blessed is he in whose hand is dominion. So blessed is he, it refers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is used for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only. Then we have ta'ala. Again, he, Allah, made himself exalted above all. Subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. Glorified, subhanahu, and ta'ala, exalted. Glorified and exalted is he, far above what they associate with him. So these two verbs, whenever they are used in the Quran, tabaraka and ta'ala, they always refer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you know this dua al-istiftah, when we start our prayer, we start with the most common dua, which is Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa tabarak asmuka wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha ghayruk. Yeah, so both of them are combined over there. So whenever it is used in the Quran, it refers to only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it has a reflexive signification, and it signifies, or it tells us about the signification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only. Next one is pretension, to pretend. Verbs of this form refer to pretended action. Nama, to sleep, but when we say tanawama, to pretend to be asleep. So this characteristic is not used in the Quran, as far as I know, but it is used like in modern standard Arabic, as we can see over here. Tanawam al jasusu wa sami'a kalam nasi. The spy pretended being asleep, and he heard the talk of the people. So nama, as we have discussed in detail, nama yanamu nauman, to sleep, but tanawama is to pretend to be asleep. Similarly, we have tamarada, marada yamridu, as we know, to be sick, and tamarada is he pretended to be sick. And similarly, we have baka yabka, he cried, but when we have tabaka, he pretended to cry. And then we have ami ayama, and then we have ta'ama, he pretended to be blind. So from the third one is third characteristic is to pretend to do something. So number 1 is the group action. Number 2 is reflexive glorification, which is only restricted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And number 3 is to pretend or pretension. The first one is the most common. The second one is used a lot in the Quran. And the first one, that is the group discussion or the group participation, is the most common. So from number 1, as we know, it can be fa'ala, it can be fa'ila and fa'ula. And when we add one letter to from number 1, it becomes from number 2, as we have fa'ala. When we add alif, it becomes fa'ala from number 3. And when we add hamza, Hamzatul Qati'. This Hamza is always written from number 4. So we have fa'ala, fa'ala, af'ala. And when we add 2 letters to the first form, then what happens? We get form number 4 and form number, it should be 5, yes. 6, sorry, 5 and 6. So we have tafa'ala and we have tafa'ala. So here there is addition of ta to form number 2, and here we have addition of ta to form number 3. So that's why we say that this is reflexive of form number 2 and this is reflexive of form number 3. Tafa'ala and tafa'ala. And these two verbs, as you can see here, what is so special about them? Both of them, the past tense also starts with ta. Normally we know that ta is used with the present tense, but these two forms are very special, and they start, the past tense also starts with ta as well. So we have tafa'ala and tafa'ala with alif.
Can I ask something?
Yes, please.
You said about the group action. I'm not sure, like when we say jahada, so is it not like, or qatala, is it not like two groups fighting among each other? It's not like that.
Excellent. As you said, two groups. Yeah, so it has to be two. It could be two groups, it could be two persons, it could be one person against the whole group, and it could be the whole group against one person.
All right. And this in form 6, what's the difference?
It's the mutual action where everyone is participating in the activity.
Okay.
Everyone is performing the action. Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay. Like tadayantum bidainin.
Exactly. When you give loan, when you give and take loan, so it's like, so it's not restricted to two parties, it's everyone giving and taking. That's right. Okay. And the example that we have from the Quran, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا بِالْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. So we can see over here that ta'awan refers to the mutual action where everyone is helping other. Everyone is cooperating with the other. So it's not restricted to two persons or two parties or one person to the whole group or the whole group to one person. It's like everyone is doing the action and everyone is performing the action.
So and whoever is the subject is the object as well.
Exactly, that's right, yeah. So that's why it is fi'l lazim, it's not muta'addi, because everyone is performing the action. Okay. So doing tasbih and mujahada are from the basics of Islam, as we did that. So fa'ala, sabbaha, jahada and aslama. If we do tadabbur and ta'awan, so from number 5 is tadabbara and ta'awana. So this is how you can memorize, and I'm sure that these 5, the first 5 are on your fingertips, starting from the smallest finger. So fa'ala, sabbaha, jahada, aslama, and then we moved on to 5. And what is special about 5? It is from number 5 and it has 5 letters. It's easy to remember, and also it starts with ta, and 6 also starts with ta. Ta'awana, yata'awanu, ta'awunan. So fi'l al-amr will be ta'awan. And you know how to make fi'l al-amr. It's very easy. We make the ending sakin and we drop alamat al-mudari. So when we drop alamat al-mudari, if it is readable, then it is the imperative is ready. So we can see over here that ta'awan is readable. So that's why there is no need to add anything else. So fi'l al-amr will be ta'awan. Fi'l nahi will be, as we know that we add la to that, and fi'l nahi is always to the second person, so it will be la tata'awan. But the example of the Quran we have seen, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا. So what happens again when we have a combination of two ta'as, then one of them gets dropped. So it is la ta'awan. Instead of tata'awan, it is la ta'awan, as we have seen in the Quran. It's not a must, but it happens, and we have both examples. Even we have seen in form number 5, and also we will see in form number 6, that most of the times ta is dropped in the Quran, but there are some examples in the Quran as well where the ta has not been dropped. Ismul fa'il will be muta'awinun, as we know that in all the derived forms from 2 to 10, Ismul fa'il and Ismul maf'ul, they start with mu, and then the second last root letter, not the root letter, the second last letter, if it takes kasra, then it will be Ismul fa'il, and if the second last letter takes fatha, then it will be Ismul maf'ul. So muta'awinun, the person who cooperates, and muta'awan is the person who is cooperated. And we need to know that, as we have discussed, that in this bab also, like bab number 5, there is no kasra in the past, present, masdar, in command and prohibition, as we can see here, that it always takes fatha, it does not take kasra in fi'l al-amr, fi'l al-nahi, and also in the past and the present, and also in the masdar. However, we know that ismul fa'il always takes kasra if it is a regular verb. When I say regular, means if it is not muda'af or muda'af, because in muda'af there is a possibility that it can have fatha as well, the doer. Inshallah, when we discuss about this in from number I think like 6 or 7 or 8, we will see that sometimes, or in all the muda'af forms where we have tashdid, we will have only fatha and we will not have kasra in both ismul fa'il and ismul maf'ul. If you remember the example of mushtaqun, ishtaqqa yashtaqu, and then we have mushtaqun. So we will see, and mumtazun, inshallah we will see as well, mumtazun. We will see from the context whether it is used as ismul fa'il or ismul maf'ul. As-sarf as-saghir, ta'awana yata'awanu ta'awunan. So here the masdar has dhamma, and also in form number 5 masdar has dhamma. Fahuwa muta'awinun. And now, can you figure out the change? Is there any change that has taken place over here? It also took place in form number 3. Yes, can you figure out which change has taken place?
Alif instead of alif.
Excellent, yeah. Alif has changed into dhamma. Yeah, why? Because before alif we have dhamma. Alif has changed into waw. Why would I say dhamma? Yeah. So when we know that whenever there is dhamma before waw, then it has to be, or whenever there is dhamma and after that we have alif, normally it changes into waw, because we know that waw and dhamma are compatible. So it has become tu'uwina from ta'awana, tu'uwina, as we had fa'ala, and from fa'ala we had fu'ila, from jahada we had juhida, right? And similarly from ta'awana we have tu'uwina. The present is easy comparatively. Yuta'awanu, as we know that the passive always starts with dhamma, and then the last or the second last letter takes fatha when we talk about the present tense. Tu'uwina yuta'awanu ta'awunan fadhaka muta'awanun. Then we have imperative, fi'l al-amr, ta'awan, and nahi will be, it can be la ta'awan, and as we have seen in the Quran, it is la ta'awan, and then we have muta'awanun. What is special about this muta'awanun? In the derived forms, ismul maf'ul is also used as dharf zaman and makan if needed, and inshallah we will see in munqalab, like in the next form, that it can be used as dharf zaman or makan. Do you remember an example of ismul maf'ul being used in as dharf zaman or makan? Mudkhal and mukhraj, 2 examples. I think you can remember those 2. Okay. So here from number 6 we have ta is extra and alif is extra. So tafa'ala, yatafa'alu, tafa'al is fi'l al-amr, al-masdar is tafa'ulun, and ismul fa'il is mutafa'il, and ismul maf'ul is mutafa'ul. It might be redundant. You might be thinking like the same information is being repeated again and again, but then again it's drilling so that we have a very good group of these forms and we don't get confused when we are discussing, like when we are reciting the Quran, so we are able to figure out how they are used and what are the characteristics. More examples: Sa'ala, he asked, and tasa'ala, he asked or they asked one another, as we have in the Quran, amma yatasa'alun, right? Then we have marada, he became sick, and tamarada, he pretended to be sick. So this is one of the characteristics where someone pretends to do something. Daraba, we have discussed a lot, and tadaraba is he quarreled or brawled, and it was like with the whole group. It happened something as a group. Ana, he was middle-aged, but ta'awana, he helped, and as we can see over here, one another. Nama, he slept, and tanawama, he pretended to sleep. Again, this is pretension. And then we have nabaza, he defamed, and tanabaza, he gave someone a nickname to reproach. So tanabaza, Surah Al-Hujurat, inshallah, we will discuss in detail. Let's begin the lesson. I guess we can just do a bit of the lesson, inshallah. And so, Ad-Darsu Al-Hadi Ash Wal-Ishruna, lesson number 21. Al-Mudarrisu. What is the pattern of Mudarrisu? Which form is this? Verb form number.
درس يدرس
Fahuwa
سب
Mudarrisun, right? Form number 2. Excellent. Yeah. Darrasa yudarrisu tadrisan fahuwa mudarrisun. So al-mudarrisu, the teacher. Amma tatasaaluna ya ikhwanu. Oh brothers, about what are you asking one another? Now, I would like to explain a little bit more about here. So this is basically ma, as we can see over here. Sorry, so tasala yatasalu, tasawulan is to ask one another. So what kind of ma is this? How to figure it out? This is ma al-istifhamiya. How do we know? When ma al-istifhamiya comes after a preposition, its alif is dropped. What happens? The alif is dropped. What kind of ma is this? Ma al-istifhamiya. What is ma al-istifhamiya? Ma that is used to ask a question, right? Ma of interrogation. For example, ma ismuka, what is your name, right? So whenever ma al-istifhamiya comes after a preposition, its alif is dropped. One more example from the Quran. Lima taquluna ma la taf'alun. Why do you say what you do not do? Alright, so as we can see here, why do you say? Again, it gives the meaning of a question. So whenever you are asking a question and whenever it is used with a preposition, then the alif gets dropped. Is this clear? We have like some other examples in the Quran. فَلْيَنظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ مِمَّا خُلِقَ. And some similarly, لِمَا تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. So when it comes after the preposition, its alif is dropped. However, when ma al-mawsula comes after a preposition, its alif is not dropped. Its alif is not dropped. The example, وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. وَمِمَّا. So as you know that this is basically a combination of min plus ma, and you know the rule of the tajweed, what happens? It gets merged into tashdid and it becomes mimma. Similarly, it is the combination of an plus, yes, an plus ma. Yeah, amma, right? So when we are reciting the Quran, there is the gunna, but we don't prolong it. So it's amma, and we don't say amma because it will be wrong, right? Because this is ma al-istifhamiya. But whenever we have ma al-mawsula in the Quran, then it is written with alif. You know what ma al-mawsula is? Which is used for connection, right? To connect two sentences or two nouns. So it basically gives the meaning of alladhi. Gives the meaning of what? Alladhi. Okay, what is the difference between ma and alladhi? Does anyone remember? Ma is a common noun and alladhi is a proper noun. So alladhi is a proper noun and ma is a common noun. So whenever we have ma and it is used as ismul mawsula, it will be always used as a common noun. وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. And spend out of what we have provided for them. So it's not like whenever we spend, we shouldn't say that we are spending from our money. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, whatever I gave you, you spend from that. And don't give credit to yourself because it is provided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here, ma is a common noun. Here it's not like something special. It is like whatever you have, spend from that. But alladhi, whenever it is used in the Quran, it refers to someone or something specific. For example, alladhi allama bil qalam. Alladhi allama bil qalam. So refers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now I'm sure you remember the difference between ma al-mawsula and alladhi. Alladhi is a proper noun because it has lam tarif, whereas ma is a common noun. Is this clear? The difference between Ma al-istifhamiyya and ma al-mawsula.
Yes, Mr.
Okay, excellent. So here we have amma tatasaaluna ya ikhwanu. What, oh brothers, about what are you asking one another? So if you see here, one another, that is like a group. Tasaala yatasaalu tasaulan. Hamidun natasaalu, we are asking anil imtihani, about the exam. Kaifa yakunu, how is it going to be like? And this is badal of imtihan. Inshallah, we will discuss in detail, like what a substitute is when we do the exercises. We have it in detail. So we are asking about the exam, like how it is going to be like. Asahlatan takunu al-asilatu am sa'batan. All right, lots of things over here. We have here asahlatan. Why do we have here mansub? The noun is mansub. That's question number 1. Yes, please, quickly. We have sahlatan and we have sa'batan, easy and difficult. Why is it mansub? Anyone? Excellent. Yeah, we have here something from kana yakunu, right? So we know that whenever we have kana, and it's not necessary that it has to be kana, it can be past of kana, it can be present of kana, it can be mudare, it can be also a fi'l al-amr as well. So any form of kana, whenever it is there, it has ismu kana and khabaru kana, right? So takunu should have an ism and it should have a noun. So we can see here that al-as'ilatu, as we can see over here, is ismu kana, and sahlatan is khabaru kana. So khabar is muqaddam over here, and why it is muqaddam? For a reason. Why? Because we know that this hamza a is called hamza of equality, hamza to taswiya. We have discussed in the first lesson of book number 2 that whatever comes after a should come after because a and is a combination and they always come together. So that's why we have asahlatan takunu al asilatu am sa'batan. Are the questions going to be easy or difficult? Okay, what is the difference between and aw? Do you remember? Aw. It's lesson number 1 of book 2. What's the name of this hamza? Yeah, hamza to taswiya. Sawa yusawi taswiyatan, to make something equal. And hamza of taswiyatan, it is called hamza of equality because whatever comes after hamza, it should come after as well. Yes? Yes, please. Aw. Aw.
comes with nouns.
It connects both
and it comes with the nouns. Excellent. Yeah. And also, it does not come with the question. It comes with the regular statements. For example, khudh hadha aw dhaka. Take this or take that. Whenever we have a or we have hal, then after that we use hal turidu aw hal turidu an tashraba ashaya aw gahwa. So gahwa, sorry. So whenever we have hal or we have a, then after that we have to use But in the regular statements, we use aw. As I told you, khudh hadha aw dhaka. Take this or that. So there is a combination of a with or hal and they always come together. All right. Anastati'u, istata'a yastati'u istata'atan, from number 10. An nanjaha bitaqdirin mumtazin amla. So again, you can see over here, we have a combination of a and then we have as we can see over here. So this is the first part and this is the second part. So amla, this is, as I told you, lughatul hadf. Yeah. So something is mahdhuf. The whole statement is mahdhuf. Yani amla nastati'u an nanjaha bitaqdirin mumtazin. So instead of bringing in the whole statement over there, la is enough. Yani it is enough that we just put la after that. So anastati'u an nanjaha bitaqdirin mumtazin am la. So you can see the whole translation over here. Are we going to be able to pass the exam with excellent grades or not? So the students are asking the teacher, We are asking how the exam is going to be like. The first part, are the questions going to be easy or difficult? سهلة تكون الأسئلة أم صعبة? And then أنستطيع أن ننجح بتقدير ممتاز أم لا? Are we going to be able to pass the exam with excellent grades or not? So it's missing over here, or not, because we have la. Okay, let's see what does the teacher say. The teacher says اطمئنوا يا إخوانو. اطمئنوا, be assured, O brothers, or be satisfied, O brothers. اطمئن يطمئن اطمئنانا, from number 8, or I guess, yeah. So inshallah we will discuss when we go to from number 8. So اطمئن, and then this is what? فعل الأمر. اطمئنوا يا إخوانو, be assured or be satisfied, O brothers. سيكون, now please put the ending of الامتحان. سيكون الامتحان سهلا. Yeah, because اسم كان and خبر كان. اسم كان is مرفوع and خبر كان is منصوب. When I say كان, that means we only discuss about the base form. So سيكون الامتحان سهلا إن شاء الله. The exam will be easier إن شاء الله. راجعوا, what form is this? What kind of fail is this?
From 3.
From number? راجع يراجع مراجعة. فعل يفعل مفعلة. So راجعوا الدروس, revise your lessons. So this is from number 3. راجع يراجع فهو مراجع, and راجع is for singular, راجع, and راجعوا for plural. وتعاونوا, and cooperate with one another. ولا تتكاسلوا, and do not be lazy. Okay, تعاونوا and تتكاسلوا, what is the difference between these two? This form and this form.
One is Amr
No, it's past, Ustad.
one is
The,
Nahi.
Past? No.
Amr and Nahi.
Excellent. Amr and Nahi. Perfect. So this is Amr. This is Amr and this is Nahi. As we see La and Nahiya over here. This construction. And in the Quran, as we said, like the ta gets dropped, but it's not necessary to drop it in everyday Arabic. So وَتَعَاوَنُوا وَلَا تَتَكَاسَلُوا, and cooperate with one another and do not be lazy. So we can see the translation here. So when you look at the translation, you can figure out, oh brothers, be assured. So again, this is imperative or comforted. The exam will be easy. سيكون الامتحان سهلا. Revise your lessons. So this is, we can see revise راجعوا. So this is فعل الأمر, as we can see here. Cooperate, again, فعل الأمر, and one another, and don't be lazy. So we can see over here, we have don't over here. So that means, and this is فعل نهي. مسعود نحن خائفون يا أستاذ. We are afraid, O teacher. خاف يخاف فهو خائف, and the plural of خائف will be خائفون. نحن خائفون, very simple sentence, مبتدا and خبر. We are afraid, O teacher. يا أستاذ. قضينا السنة كلها. Okay, قضينا, قضى يقضي, قضاء, to spend. We spent the whole year. Ha refers to the year. And why is kulla used over here? Does anyone remember? We spent the whole year. Kullun, jami'un. You remember, I think we discussed in lesson number 2 or 3 of this book that they are used for tawqeed, for emphasis. And inshallah, when we discussed in the exercise, we will see that it is also used as substitute, as badal. So this is the substitute of the whole year. قضينا السنة كلها. We spent the whole year في اللهو واللعب, in amusement and in playing. لها يلهو لهوا. So this is masdar, and لعب يلعب لعبا is also masdar. That's why when you look at the translation over here, we are afraid, O teacher, we spent the whole year in amusement and playing. So why do we have the noun over here? Because here we have masdar, and the masdar is translated as noun, as amusement, and it can be also translated as verbal noun, because we know that this is a verbal noun. So it is playing. We spent the whole year in amusement and playing. Ya laytana. So this is the last sister of Inna. We have discussed about the five sisters or the four sisters of Inna, and this is the last sister. Ya laytana. And basically it is ijtahadna. Because this is Hamzatul Wasl, so we will say ya laytana ijtahadna. But if you want to make it easier, you can also say Ya laytana ijtahadna tawal al-ami. So now it is used to express a wish, and the wish that is like impossible or in the past. Ijtahadna tawal al-ami. We wish we had worked hard throughout the whole year. So tawala is throughout, and it is used as mudaf, as you can see here. Tawal al-ami, throughout the whole year. Kama, as. Najtahidu, we are working hard al-ana, now. Qubayl al-imtihani, right before the exam. Qubayl is what? Short, is ism al-musaghar of qablun, right?
Qabl.
Yeah, so we have qabl and we have qubayl. So this is the short form, which is like little before the start of the exam. So normally what happens, most of the students, they have this like normally throughout the year they don't study, and when there is the time approaching for the exam, they start reading for the exam. So they are showing their like, as we can see here, regret over here, that we wish we had worked hard throughout the whole year as we are working hard right before the exam. So today we have completed Inna and all the sisters of Inna over here. So we have Inna, as we can see, which is used for emphasis, indeed and surely. Anna means that, and it is also used for emphasis, and it also means that, and also it means indeed or surely. We have lakinna, but, ka'anna, as though, la'alla, and then we have, it is used for two things, hope and fear. And today we have seen layta, which is also used to express a wish, layta. Ya laytana and ya laytani, because we can use the attached pronouns. We can use the attached pronouns with layta, as we can use with inna. For example, innahu, innaha, innahum, innaka, innakuma, innakum. And similarly, we can use with anna, we can use with la'alla. And similarly, we can use all the attached pronouns with layta. So laytahu, laytahuma, laytahum, laytaha, laytahuma, laytahunna. And then similarly, when we continue and we go to the end, we have laytani and we have laytana. And we know that this expression is used in the Quran. Ya laytani kuntu turaba. Similar to that. Al-mudarrisu, the teacher. Kunu mutafa'ilina. Okay, kunu mutafa'ilina. Be optimistic. وَلَا تَكُونُوا مُتَشَائِمِينَ, and don't be pessimistic. Okay, now here. تَفَاءَلَ يَتَفَاءَلُ تَفَاؤُلًا, to be optimistic. And then we have تَشَاءَمَ يَتَشَاءَمُ تَشَاؤُمًا, to be pessimistic. Now, can you please tell me مُتَفَائِلِينَ is mansoob and مُتَشَائِمِينَ is mansoob? Why are they mansoob?
Kunu, it's in inbuilt fa'il, Ustad.
Excellent. So it's the imperative form of kun. It's basically yakunu, yeah. Kun, and for two it is kuna, and for more than two it will be kunu. So this is fail plus file, and mutafa'ilina will be maf'ul bihi. Excellent. So kunu mutafa'ilina, be optimistic. And here mutasha'imina. Why is it mansoob over here? Because here we have, yes, felun nahi, right? Excellent. So la takunu is basically, this is la an-nahiya, and it was takununa, and we know that the noon has been dropped, so it becomes la takunu. And don't be pessimistic. We have another beautiful expression over here. La da'iya lil khawfi. There is no need to be scared. There is no need to fear. Okay, what kind of la is this? I want to know, because I've discussed and told you about this several times. What do we have after la?
Yeah.
Fatha, right? Yes.
Amr.
La an-nafi lil jins. La an, or this is la of absolute negation. Of absolute negation. So what happens after this la? There is a noun which is a common noun, which is nakira, which is singular, and it is always mabniyun al fath. Always. La ilaha illallah. La rayba fihi. So whenever you have a noun after that, the noun is singular and the noun is mabniyun al fath. And this is called la of absolute negation. Because we have learned about la, as we know that it means no, and also we have learned about la and nahiya, and now we can see that there is another form of la which is used for complete or absolute negation. فَإِنَّكُمْ طُلَّابٌ مُجْتَهِدُونَ, as indeed you are hardworking students. So inna, as we know that ismu inna is kum, and tulabun is khabaru inna, and mujtahiduna is the sifa of tulabun, as you are intelligent students. Walhamdulillah, and praise be to Allah. La budda min athiqati bi anfusikum. It is imperative to have confidence in yourselves. Again, la budda. Now, can you figure out? It is similar to this one, as we can see here. Yeah, la da'iya, la ilaha, la rayba fihi. So Buddha is basically, Buddhan is something that is used for trust, or used for something must, that you have to do something is mandatory, absolutely necessary. And this expression is used a lot in Arabic language. La Buddha, and after that we have min, and then we have a noun after that. La Buddha min athiqati bi anfusikum. It is imperative, it is absolutely necessary to have confidence in yourselves. For example, I say La Buddha min as-sayyara. It is absolutely necessary to have a car. La Buddha min kada wa kada wa kada. Yani, you say La Buddha, and after that you bring min, and then after that you bring a noun, that it is a must that we have to have this thing. So this expression is used. For example, you have exam, the exam is approaching and you have to study hard. So I will say La Buddha min al muraja'ah. You have to do the revision. Yani, it is a must for you to do the revision. Malaka tatata'abu ya Aba Bakr. Tatha'aba yatatha'abu tatha'uban, to yawn. Malaka tatata'abu ya Aba Bakrin. What's wrong with you, or why are you yawning, O Abu Bakr? So now if you look at the running translation, kunu, as we discussed that this is imperative, that's why we have here be optimistic, and then we have seen that wala takunu is nahi, prohibition, so that's why we have don't be pessimistic. And there is no need to fear, la daya lil khawf, or panic, as indeed you are hardworking students. Why indeed? Because فَإِنَّكُمْ طُلَّابٌ مُجْتَهِدُونَ. La budda min athiqati bi anfusikum. It is imperative to have confidence in yourselves. And malaka is also used like, what's wrong with you, or why are you doing something? So malaka tatata'abu ya Aba Bakrin. What's wrong with you, O Abu Bakr? You are yawning. That's it for today. So inshallah, when we come back again, we will continue our lesson. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.